Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Good evening. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well, guys. It's one of them ones, okay? Y'all know I've been documenting everything and I've been trying to upload videos as well as possible. Just, as ethical as possible, y'all. And it wouldn't be fair for me to diverse on other situations without like shining light on like what goes on in my life too. So I have a teenager. He's becoming a teenager. He's about 13ish. And every time I talk to him about, the grown people stuff, he gets all weary and seems like I'm wrong for trying to protect my child because I'm trying to teach him early that these girls are not to be trusted and women are not to be trusted, and sometimes some friends aren't to be trusted because our dynamic is kind of weird right now because I currently allow him to stay at my grandmother's until I get completely into my own place that I like. I just had a place, but that place had a lot of things that should have been taken care of prior to us getting into that unit. So once again, not only for myself but for my children, I did not take that particular unit. So long story short, family dynamic is really, really narcissistic-y. So I have not been able to have conversations with my child, but every time I talk to him, especially with me being spiritual, I just want to tell him and teach him about things in life. And it's really, really hard to have tough conversations with your children, especially when they feel like, you're the enemy, or you're the bad person, or you're this or you're that. And so, this is hard. People never talk about how hard it is to raise a son, especially being a woman. One thing his dad used to say, this was his motto. What he say? He's like, it's one thing for a father to not be in his son's life, but a mother that's not in her child's life, he felt like that wasn't respectable. Like, and not to say that men can't be in their kids' life, because he actually was in his life and he was a good father. But the situation at hand is that his father has he's left us. He's no longer here with us anymore. And so in retro reflect, a lot of things have took a whole nother turn in life, and I wouldn't have never expected it to end up like that. Not too far gone, but bad, yeah, because he's not here, and other people that I love aren't either. So like my cousin that would have been like an uncle to my son, that I was very, very close to, that he was really cool and like, hung out with the cool people and, like me, and like we were young, and when we were young, we were so, like grown at a young age. And a lot of things was pushed upon me, a lot of peer pressure, a lot of things just, associating with other people and stuff like that. But it's hard being chosen. It is hard being a good person because, when it comes to my son, when it comes to my child, when it comes to my kids, I feel like I just want the best for them. And like with them being not in my household right now and where they are, it seems like it's like a gear that slips. It's not clicking. So anywho, instead of me beating myself up about it, I've seen this before I go touch bases on that. I seen this one YouTuber. It's this black woman named Rose, and a lot of people be on her, but I like her a lot. She dates a Caucasian man, and I do too. My boyfriend is mixed. He's Latino, and he's a Caucasian. And I've always, just to be honest with you guys, I've always had a connection to white men. And I don't know, it was just, even as a young girl, it wasn't really men, it was just boys. Like, they were so much more, like, calmer to me and so much more relaxing. So, like, I'm going to get off the topic a little bit. Like, matter of fact, I'm going to make another video about, you know, how I felt about dating outside of my race and why did I do it, and why do I feel like those relationships work a little bit better than, you know, the average race on race type of thing. But I could be wrong, so please don't judge me. It's just an opinion, guys. You know, this internet can be a really bad place, so hopefully I don't upset anybody. But I can tell you guys one thing for sure, like, people are allowed to love who they love. You guys can't be, like, judging different people based off of, y'all can't be judging different people based off of, like, their preference. Because, like, you don't know why somebody have a preference. You don't know why somebody might date somebody. You don't know why somebody might like somebody. All you know is what you see. So you didn't meet them where they met each other. You didn't, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, when I watched the couple, like I said, Rose and her husband, I think his name is Brett, very, very popular couple, probably the most popular mixed racial couple in the world, honestly. They are really on YouTube tearing it down with like 1 million views. You know, Rose have a lot of support with her fans, and, you know, she just shows her true self. And Brett, I believe he shows his true self too. And a lot of people, they be like so, I don't know, ready to conceive or perceive their relationship, you know, in a manner that is really not, is not that deep for you to feel like you can figure out why somebody's together. Like, if you knew what made her be with him, then you would not, you would be with, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to say, like, how do I say, like, what she knows for her and what he knows for him, and that's why they're together. So, and that's why it's working too. But anywho, like, at first, you know, just like a lot of people, when you see a power couple, you might be a little jealous, because it's not really normal for couples to really stay together anymore. It's not really average for that and all that stuff like that. But I'm getting into some other stuff, y'all, so let me wrap this video up. So I'm talking to my son about, you know, STDs, and stuff like that he's going to be learning about soon. I don't know when they start teaching these kids in school about STDs and the stuff that goes on, but I know that the people I hung out with at a young age, which was, you know, I'm not going to throw nobody under the bus, but it even included myself, we were a little active for young kids. And, you know, it's really hard sometimes to communicate with your kids, because it's like they judge you, but they're not yet there yet, so they don't understand where you're coming from. So, you know, I'm just, my son is starting to hang out with people and starting to go places and do things, and, you know, I just wanted to protect them, so I always tried to keep them near, of course. But I don't know, it's, you know, like, one thing Rose has said, this is why I have brought her up, because she also has kids. I think somebody was walking by, guys, so I'll just making sure they walk by for safety. So I'm sorry I got quiet. So basically, I was trying to have a conversation with him about those things, and he's telling me like, why am I saying anything to him about those things? He's not doing those things, and, you know, the conversation just wasn't going how I wanted it to go, and it was all for educational purposes and to protect him and to make sure that, you know, whenever he does get to that point, that he's protecting himself. And that's just the most important thing that I wanted to give to my boys. You know, it's not always about a pretty face. It's not always about a loyal girl. It's not always about a friend. Like, if I knew the things now that I knew at his age, I would not have had my first kid at 17. Like, and it breaks me down because anybody that knows me know the one thing that she cares about is those kids. Like, but so anywho, I have to find another place. I have to kind of separate from my family because the dynamic is really, really not what I need it to be. It needs to be, and it's not. I'm not talking about with my child. I'm talking about with the family as he sits here and looks in the garage and acts stupid. He's so childish. But he's around other narcissists right now, so you gotta expect that. I've learned that from the YouTube land. They say if you let your kids go around narcissists, don't expect them to come back the same way that you sent them. So, and then I was trying to also let him know that, you know, a set of his friends have already been sexually active, and he refuses to believe me.